Hey, Brent here from Older Home Specialists. I'm out here with my client Glenn, and he's getting an ADU built here, brand new.
I'm building a retirement home, an ADU here on a 5-acre property in Cameron Park, California. I'm concerned about the runoff from the water. There are a lot of storms that come through this area, and now that we're building this ADU, we realize that sometimes there's a little puddle or ponding issue in front of the ADU or the garage, and we want to eliminate it. We've been looking for a drainage contractor to handle the job, and a lot of research online. We've found a lot of recommendations for Brent from Older Home Specialists. We figure he's the man to handle the job. We're looking forward to what he does so we have drainage and no problems in the future.
And so we're going to do drainage for this new structure here. And so there's a few things that I'm going to evaluate first before we even get into making a plan for this. So one of the main things I'm going to look at is where the ADU is sitting on the property and what the grade is. So you can see all of the grade is coming towards the house right here. So he hasn't had his asphalt put in yet for the driveway. So one thing that we're going to want to do is be in contact with whoever's doing that work to make sure that we are grading the asphalt so that it is going in the directions that we want. So you can see over here, this is going to be a solid system here, just surface water, downspouts. So we have one downspout right here that we're going to need hooked up. This is going to be a parking pad right here. It's going to be built up, so we're definitely going to want drainage coming around that side. Now I'm looking at something like this, and I'm going to want to know where this water's going. Now you can see down the middle here, they have a little bit of an easement right here in between the garage and the ADU itself. And a certain amount of drainage is going to have to come this way. But if I had my way about it, we wouldn't send it all through there. There's a couple things about this you can see. First of all, concrete is a lot higher right here. But as soon as it starts stepping down, it gets closer and closer to where the stucco is going to be. So we're going to be limited on how much dirt can go in here and how much of a bevel can go here. So definitely going to want some drainage coming through here because it's going to connect to the other side as well. But do I want all that driveway water coming through here? Probably not. It wouldn't be my preference. So we're going to see if we can divert a lot of that water going the other direction and then use this just for the smaller areas in the front. The next thing that I'm looking at is the grade of the lot, where this water is going to go. Where's it going to daylight? So you can see down here, we have a nice seasonal creek down here. We got lots of slope down here. So there's not going to be any issue with that. So we're going to run all the water down here. And when I'm looking at grade like that, I'm evaluating what type of material is going to be best as well. Because here's the thing, 4-inch PVC, it has to be put in at 1% slope. If you don't put it in at 1% slope, you're going to have a problem because the solids are going to build up. The water will relieve itself faster than the solids can go. So the great thing about corrugated pipe is 2% or more grade, and it's actually creating turbulence in the pipe and cleaning it. So if you can get 3%, 4%, you're going to have a corrugated system that really works well. Now, if you take corrugated and you try and put it in, say 4-inch at 1% or something like that, it's not going to work well because those ridges are going to catch a lot of the debris over the years. And then not only that, it would be holding some water in it as well, which is going to be the death of the drain because roots are eventually going to grow towards it and shut it down. And what we're trying to do is design something that they're not going to have to replace again. If we do this the correct way with copper products, clean outs, the correct grade, the correct size tile, then he's not going to have to do this again. He might have to have it jetted out in 20 years or something like that. But as long as they have the ability to do that, then everything's going to be fine. So I'm taking into account different trees that are in the area, where I'm going to use a copper shield, where I'm going to use copper sulfate, different products, and just ensuring that this is going to last. All right, so we're standing here in front of the garage, and one thing that's ultimately going to dictate where the majority of this water goes is how the dirt is installed and leveled out here. So everything's coming this way no matter what. We can't control that, but which way is it going to be beveled for the way the water goes? Now, in front of a garage like this, I definitely recommend installing a trench drain. A trench drain is similar to a channel drain. Trench drain is installed in a driveway for larger loads. A channel drain is going to be typically in sidewalks and walkways for less load and often are much smaller. But some sort of, I would say some sort of pad coming off here with some concrete right here, and then a trench drain that is going to divert the water as much as possible away from here. And then he could go ahead and pick it up with his asphalt after that, wherever we decide. It's still kind of up in the air, but we're gonna work all that out. I like to be in contact with the different contractors, the builders, whoever's going to do the concrete, whoever's going to do the asphalt. I want us working together to make sure that we're not putting the cart before the horse, that we're going in a good order, and that we all are working together. So over here, you can see we have another downspout right here is going to be installed, and this is definitely a hot spot right here. So he's going to have a walkway into his house that comes up around this way right here. So we're definitely going to want to plan for good drainage right here, grading away from the house with a certain amount of soil so that water, even if it comes down, never has a chance to go up. It's always going to hit the lowest point. And then we will divert some of the water through these two structures right here to deliver water that way. So we're going to have likely 3 independent systems running down there. One's going to have to come through here. We're going to get a lot of the water to go around the other side, and then we're going to need something on this side as well. So you can see we have another downspout coming down right here. And I believe we have another one here and another one over here. So just that we're planning, getting these catch basins set in the way that they're supposed to be, at the lowest level. Dirt and the terrain is going to be graded towards the catch basins. When I can get on a job like this, it's optimum because I can actually fix problems before they even start. So a lot of the new builds that I see, they just slap the drainage in. They take very little consideration to how this is going to work 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road. And it's all math. It's the grade, it's the size tile that you're using, it's the type of material that you're using. It's a mathematical equation. And a lot of times, if it's going to be a big project, what I'll do is I'll start from square one and I'll check the torrential rain report and see what it's been for 100 years for that zip code. And then we will check the pitch of the roof, an approximate square footage of the roof, how many downspouts, and then we can divide it down and get a rough number how much water is going to flow through the tile. So it really comes down to math as far as making sure that your load is correct. The other thing to consider on a job like this, not all downspouts are going to do the same amount of work. Certain ones are going to have bigger areas that it's going to service. You might even have 2 downspouts on one run, but one of them could very likely do 90% of the work and one of them could do 10% of the work, depending on how the gutters are set in originally. So you always want to make sure that you evaluate a job. I see so many guys, we're going to put a pipe in the ground. We're going to slap a pipe in the ground. If you're a DIY client and you're doing a job yourself, the first thing that I can say is slow down, get a good plan. If you have questions, do research. Don't just get it in. You can have the best materials in the world, and if the install's no good, the product's going to be no good. Now, you could take the worst products in the world and give it to somebody who's A1. You'll come out with something that's pretty good. But having the best materials and the best installation practices, that's going to get you where you want to go. And that's what you want to do. So, yeah, this is what we're looking at here.
Well, I'm impressed because you're not short on words. You know where you're coming from.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're real good.
All right, so this is going to be a rare opportunity that you can see us design a system from the ground up from a brand new structure. So be sure and follow us. And stay tuned on our YouTube channel, and we're going to start shooting some more longs as well so you can get a little more information for the DIY clients and everybody else. Till the next one.